Shimon, motherfuckers. We are back for another video on how to run faster for longer. Because I had a few DMs off you boys on the Instagram saying, like, how did you get into running and whatnot? Asking me a few questions. I thought this YouTube video will answer it, and it's how to run faster for longer. So if you want to run faster for longer, you need more than motivation. Because watching a few David Goggin videos, yeah, you might do one run after watching it, but it's not sustainable. We want this to be sustainable and maintainable. And you need the right strategy. In this video, we're going to break down the key elements of speed endurance and get you ready for your first race if that's what you want. If you don't want that, then just getting into running. I'm going to show you how. Right, where to start? So my story is, I just did the first picture. That was me after a run, absolutely knackered. On the video of it, which is on a reel on Instagram, you can see all the smoke covering the screen because I'm that hot and I'm that fat sort of thing. Not sort of thing. Definitely, I was a big chubby bunny, but that just, there was smoke, not smoke, but steam coming off me because it was that hot. And this is the second picture of me running way further distance than the first picture, and it just being a breeze. That is how it is for me running now. It's a bit of a breeze, and I might sound a bit like a cock, but it's the truth. So this is how we're going to try and get you from finding running difficult and boring and not really liking it to enjoying it and it being a breeze. So what are the things that I should buy to get into running? Because people think that to get into running, it's like an expensive hobby. You need all these stupid glasses and all this sort of stuff, but you don't. When I first started running, I had this pair of shoes, as you can see here. To be fair, they were shocking. They were clunky as. You need to get a better pair of running shoes than that. But it doesn't matter what you could be running in sandals. As long as you're doing it, you're doing it. But I would suggest to invest in a decent pair of running shoes. If you've got like Cheshire Oaks that has been near me, or just an outlet centre that sells that has like an ASICS store or a Nike store and Adidas store, you can get a cheap pair of running shoes, good quality pair, in one of them places. So go have a look for them. You need a gym membership if you don't already had one, because you need access to a running machine, which will improve your pace. And a good pair of headphones. You can just get like a cheap pair of headphones. It doesn't have to be something ridiculous, but just a Bluetooth pair. Because I think if you've got the cable ones and you're on a running machine or anything else, it's just like wafting in your face and all this. So you don't want that. So get a Bluetooth pair. But like I said, you don't need Ben 10 watches like myself. I recently got one, but that's literally just because I'm doing a marathon. That's the only reason I've got one. I've been running for years and I've only just now got one. They are helpful, but you don't need to start spending hundreds of pounds on Garmin watches and shit like this. And you definitely don't need running glasses because you just look like a twat with them on. Right. For this, as we start now, completely forget about your time. We're just going to focus on turning up and building some consistency, building some momentum. So when we first start off, when I first ran, I couldn't even run a 5K. So I had to build it up, going from like 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, until I can run a 5K. So you just do the same, just build it up. Might take you 2 weeks to get to 5K, but once we're at 5K, we can go from there. And if you can already run a 5K, then we're going to be doing, then sweet as a nut, you can start off from scratch. You can start from here. And I'm going to suggest, because some people have been speaking to me saying like, I'm lifting weights in the gym, and I want to like add running into my routine, but I don't know if I can really find the time for it or something like this. So I would suggest just doing 2 runs a week. And because this video is on how to get faster and run further, one of them is focusing on getting faster, and one of them is running further. Right, we're going to buy. The first thing we need to do, in my opinion, is buying a diary. This is like something that no one really talks about, but I've had like my running diaries since 2023. What we got here? 2024, 2025, and 2026. Every run I do, I document it in my diary, and I write it down and I highlight it next to the day that I ran it and the time that I ran it. As you can see here, so it says 3rd of March 2026, ran 5K and the time. Okay, this is just for accountability. Not only that, when you look through your diary, you can see how quickly you've got over the years and whatnot. And it shows that you can look in the week and go, oh, I've done 4 runs this week, or I've done 2 runs this week. I feel good for myself. So it's good. So if you're running outdoors, then you can, and you have the Strava or the Nike Run app, then it'll just be on your phone already, the time and stuff, because you've done it on your phone. But if you're running on the running machine, which we'll also have to do, then you need to take a picture of the running machine once you've finished and save it to your camera roll, so that when you come home you can write it down, your time. And we want to be taking a picture of every run you do, I want you to be running out of storage because you've done that many runs. Another tip for yourself is reading the Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me. We don't want you to be trying to copy his mileage. We're just building gradually here. We don't want you going reading his book and doing a marathon, but just to implement some mindset in there that will help you. For me, if I couldn't listen to music while I was running, I wouldn't run. Like, music is everything for me. I love music, and I think the right music makes it 10 times easier. So for me, I like listening to Fred again and Oasis, as I've got here. So that works for me. Find what works for you. I will like a long YouTube video while I'm running, say on the running machine or outdoors, whichever one. And then I can watch Liam Gallagher acting like an absolute genius, not genius, but like godlike, on the stage at Main Road while I'm watching a thing. And I'm just dancing about, and I pretend I'm in the crowd, listening to the tunes, and I'm not even thinking about the run. I'm just like pretending I'm at Main Road while I was doing or at Nebworth, whichever one I watch. But like this Fred again, live at Aaron's Rooftop, I've watched this about 200 times. I always put it on for my runs. And if you're changing your song constantly on Spotify and this and that, then you're not in your flow state, you're not locked in, and you just like, when is this run going to end? More likely to press the stop button if you're on a running machine or on your phone. So I just think the right music makes it 10 times easier. Go and find the right music for you. And I would suggest, like, say you're doing an hour run, having an hour video of music so that you don't need to think about switching. It helps massively. Right, next, running longer. So progressive overload is the game. And it's a game for, say, weightlifting, because if you're going to do bench press, you want to improve it and get a stronger chest, then you need to be lifting like an extra 1 kilogram of weight every week. But we've not come here for the gym. That would be in another video. We've come here to run longer. So for running longer, we're still applying progressive overload. We're gamifying it. And every time we run, we're going to be running outside when we're trying to run longer, because it's good to get some fresh air in our lungs. It's good to be out there. And we're going to run 0.5 kilometers further every time we do a run. And so we're running outside. If you don't have these running apps already, download Strava or Nike running app. Strava is great if you want to put it on Instagram and show people your run, and like as like a nice trail that you can put on your story and whatnot. But Nike running app is probably the most useful one for me, because it tells you in your ear while you've got your AirPods or Bluetooth headphones in, like, you have reached your halfway point. So say you set out to do a 5k on the roads, you'd put 5k, as I'll show you now. You'd put 5k on the running app, because you can select how far you're going to do. When you hit 2.5 kilometers, it'll tell you it won't tell you turn around, but when you hear it, you just turn around and then you run back to where you started. And so I would suggest a Nike running app for that for me, but just find whichever app works for you. And a lot of people talk about gels for running long distances. You see footballers having them after 30 seconds on. They're coming on in the sub as 90 plus 4 minute, and they're having them. You don't need to be having gels when you're running 5Ks. I'd start implementing them after you're running like big distances, like half marathons, which you will get to if you just add half a kilometre every time you do your outdoor run, because you can go, right, you're going to start at 5K, but eventually you'll get to 10K in, I don't know the maths, it'd be 10, 20 weeks, something like this. When you got to 10K, you can go, right, I've run 10K, I can run 10.5 kilometers, I can run an extra half a kilometer. And that's how you, over time, snowball effect, you can run far, and you are not like choking out as you was in the beginning. But this is all just about time. Time helps a lot in this, so stick with it. Right, talking about time, we can now focus on time and how we run faster. So at the start of the video, we wasn't even focusing on running faster. Just waited to get to the 5K point. Now you can run 5K. In January 2023, I ran a 5K in 36 minutes 48. Okay, I think the longest one, which is in the thumbnail, I ran was about 45 minutes, but I didn't have any photo evidence of this. That was when I was pretty heavy. But I wanted to show you this, because if we stick to what we do, like I said in this video, from 1 year's time, I've cut my 5K time from 36 minutes 48 to 16:30. That's like a 20-minute reduction in time, and you can do the same as well. So that should excite you, that you can make that much progress in just as little as 1 year. So if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, and if you're not using it, you're losing it. So yeah, we are still talking about running here. So every time we run progressive overload again, we just want to get as little as 1 second quicker. We want to be quicker every day, whether that's, like I said, as little as 1 or 2 seconds quicker, it's a dub. And we write it in our diaries, we write the time down, and then we'll go through, like we said, we'll go through the times, and we'll just got quicker and quicker and quicker. So to get quicker on a running machine, you can essentially just get dragged along by the running machine, and you will get quicker, and you can then apply that to when you're running outside. Right, for starters, we don't want you flying off the machine, breaking arms and legs, okay? So make sure that you're running at a speed you can run at. And I don't want anyone breaking the leg and referring to this video. I don't want any of that. So how do we get quicker? We start tracking our splits on your iPhone notes. This is how I do it. On my notes, I'll have when I reach which distance will I up the speed at. So from 0 kilometers to the halfway point of a 5K, I will stay at the same speed because it's nice. It's a nice and easy pace. And when I get there, it's like, right, I'm halfway there now. I've just got to up the speed. So it means that this second half of the 5K will be a lot quicker because I'm upping the speed. So it means we're going to get there in a quicker time. And as towards you coming to the end of it, 4.5 kilometers, 4.75 kilometers, you just want to be sort of like, you want to be sprinting towards the end. And every time you do a run, if you improve the kilometer per hour that you're running at the different timestamps, when you reach a different kilometer, then you will run quicker. So you just need to keep up with the running machine. So this is just a basic example of like 8 kilometers or whatever, but find what works for you. Find at what pace is easy pace until you get to the halfway point, and then slowly, as you get to like 3 and 4 kilometers, put the speed up so that you can run at a quicker pace. And every time you run, you want to be up, like running at a quicker pace. You don't have to. So say you do this first run at these times that I've got the splits on the screen. Say you do that, and then the next day you go, right, at 3 kilometers, instead of going to 10 kilometers an hour, I'm going to run at 10.1 kilometers an hour, and you will get a quicker time. So it's pretty maths and logical, but it's just sticking with it and building the consistency. And there's a lot of, like, when I first started out, I'd be running at 8 kilometers per hour, and I thought to myself, if I go over the 10 kilometer per hour range, my feet are going to fall off, and I'm going to it was a limiting belief that I was like going to die if I ran at a quicker pace. You absolutely won't. You just take it nice and slowly improve, and you'll be running at rapid paces before you know it. Right. It took me years to book my first ever event in terms of running. I never done a 5K park run or a 10K park run. I just went straight to a half marathon. I do believe everyone can run a half marathon, but I'd probably suggest to start off at a 5 or a 10K. But I suggest just book it because it's like you have something to train for, something to work towards, and it's a real nice event. Everyone's like cheering you on, like, let's go. You can raise some money for charity if you'd like to. And it's like, instead of, it's just a real nice. It's a nice event. And your family can come watch, your friends can watch. You get a nice medal. So it took me years, like I said, to do my first ever event was a half marathon. But after that, I've now got the bug. I've now booked Milan Marathon, and I'm like, come on! And it just makes you think. Once you do one of these, it's like, oh, I can do more than I'm putting myself out to. So challenge yourself and book an event because you can do it. And I said here, everyone can run a half marathon. It's quite, people might go, no one could, not everyone can run a half marathon, but I believe that everyone can. And it's not because I'm in the fortunate position of being able to do it myself, but it doesn't matter what time you get. Everyone can do it, whether they walk it or if they run it. Everyone can do it, and I believe you can do it. But if you think it's easier to start off with a 5 or a 10 kilometer, then build your way up, do a park run, raise some money for charity, have a nice event, have your family come watch you, get a medal. It's nice. And if you want to see my journey in Milan, we're going to be keeping track of it on the Instagram. Make sure to follow the Instagram, James Dover with the zeros at O. And guys, that was how to run further and faster. I'm sure you've learned something from this video. There's no point watching these videos. Go implement it. Go sign up for the gym if you're not already and get on that running machine. And let us know in the comments how you're getting on, or drop us a DM on Instagram. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.